Hi everyone, it's Vicki. Welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about Cruise Critic. They sent me an email about how not to overpack for a cruise, which opened the door because I just done a packing video, and I've always wanted to talk to you about Cruise Critic because in my experience cruising, it seems like I find a lot of people who've never heard of it, and I'm very surprised because it's a useful money-saving program. With that said, I'm not sponsored by Cruise Critic. I've never communicated with them. I'm only a user, but let's talk about it and my experience with it. Now, it's a pretty comprehensive, robust website. I only use a small portion of it, so I cannot speak to the whole website. You might want to go browse it yourself and see what all is there. But let me tell you my experience with it, and then we'll talk about the article they wrote, and I'll tell you how I feel about what they said in terms of overpacking. Okay, I personally use it mostly for the roll calls. And the roll call, if you're not familiar with that, is where if you're going to go on a cruise, then you can go to, basically it's a message board and says everybody for this cruise. I have 2 cruises upcoming, one this coming November and then the following April. So that would be April of 2021. So I've already gone to the roll calls and put my name and hello, I'm from Florida kind of thing up there. And people just chit chat between now and when the cruise happens. Now, sometimes they'll arrange a meetup, usually on the first day of the cruise, like right after muster or something like that, just a meet and greet in a bar, have a drink, chat. That's mostly what I use it for. But when you sign up for the roll calls, and I don't know if it's on everyone, I have a little bit of difficulty maneuvering the site and finding my way around, I will say that. When I signed up for a particular roll call, I got a little thing that said, do you want to get price alerts on it? And I said, okay, so I did. And so every once in a while they'd send me something if something had changed, if a price had gone up, down, or a promotion had been added, like a drink package, something like that. So actually that's not true. 2 cruises I used that. One of them, the price dropped about $345 per person. It was a total of $730. I'm doing the math off the top of my head, so that's like $345 a person, I believe. And so I called my cruise line, which was Holland America, and said, hey, I see this price drop, can I take advantage of that? And of course they offered me all kinds of stuff instead. Yes, you can, but we could also give you this, and this. I think it was a drink package, food package, for the upcharge restaurants and the spa. I have something in my eye, hold on. Or we can just give you the $730. I said I'll take the $730 credit because we already had a nice room. I didn't need an upgrade. That was one of the offers. So Cruise Critic saved me $730. Pretty happy about that. Then another time was something similar, only this time I already had some kind of special package, and so if I had taken advantage of the price drop, I would have lost like my beverage package or food upscale. I had one of those in my ticket. So what they did instead is they bumped up my room, because I think I just had just a regular window room or something. I think they bumped it up to a veranda, or I had a veranda, and they bumped it to a mini suite or something like that, and then gave me another promotion on top of it, like a drink package or something. So that really benefited, and that was a very comfortable cruise. We had the beverage package, we could order anything. I don't really drink alcohol, but I could have. Then we also had like 3 nights at specialty restaurants, or else we had a bunch of onboard spending money and we went to 3 specialty restaurants. It was a very bougie cruise for us, that one was. So anyway, that's the way that I use Cruise Critic. Other people, I think, use it as a travel agency. I see all kinds of stuff on there. Like I said, it's a pretty robust site. I just have a little trouble maneuvering it, so I just go straight to the roll calls. So let's see what Cruise Critic said about packing. Now, I think this is supposed to be tips from insiders, so let's see how their insiders compare against my thoughts on it. Okay, their first tip is pick a pallet. And basically they say if you have limited space, it makes sense to just, limit your choices by doing mix and match outfits by picking a pallet. Now, on my last cruise, and I did just post a what I packed versus what I wore video, you might be able to tell by that I did try to start out with a navy pallet. However, just with the distribution of my clothes, it didn't completely work. So I ended up taking 2 pallets, a black and a navy. So I do try to stick with basically 2 colorways, so I only have to have 2 colors of shoes. It's kind of how I do it. So I guess I do a mini version of pick a palette. Next, they said go to if by sea. And it said the rule of 2s can help you plan a perfect wardrobe. You're going to pick 2 outfits per day, 1 for night, 1 for day. Each day, that you travel, and workout clothes, bathing suits, 2 of everything per day. And then cut the total in half. It says nobody's going to know if you're wearing the same thing twice. Well, that one I'm going to take exception with. It's kind of how my husband says it, like when we were packing and I said I have to take 2 long dresses or whatever. And he says, well, just take 1, wear it twice. Well, no. Especially because we have vacation photos. I don't want to look like the same clothes in every photo. Plus, we do a lot of Caribbean cruising, and if you're out in the port in the day and whatever you're wearing might get a little sweaty, and so I'm gonna not agree with Cruise Critic on that. Now, if I was going on a colder cruise, maybe that would work, but no. I do agree with the part about a night outfit and a day outfit for each day of the cruise. I do agree with that part, but I'm not cutting it in half. But those of you who can do that, yay to ya. I just don't like putting on previously worn clothes if I know that it was sweaty. Next advice is to layer up. Now that's the advice I give to people on an Alaska cruise. Instead of trying to take a big wool coat and parka and all of this, just get a something that's warm, like a thermal kind of shirt or a turtleneck, and then put a sweatshirt or a sweater on it, and then a windbreaker or something. All about layering, and then you can take it off, because my experience after living in Alaska for 15 years was that you go in and out of hot and cold. You go in a hot store, hot restaurant, your house, then you go outside, and then it's different in the middle of the day versus night, that sort of thing. So layering up is good, and they're talking about layering up in terms of a chilly climate. And they are saying, the only clothes you have to change up are the ones closest to your skin. And I understand what they're saying, but don't forget the spillage factor. Maybe other people don't spill as much as I do, but I'm always, in fact, am I clean? Yeah, I'll have coffee on here before we're done with this video probably. So I agree with that on the most part. Then it says get a shoe clue. It talks about how shoes take up most of the space in your closet, and that's the one thing my husband always mentions are shoes. It says limit yourself to 2 in neutral colors and choose one that can do double duty. In other words, boots that you could wear with a dress or jeans. Then it says above all, choose comfort over fashion. Well, okay. I think that you have to have shoes that are comfortable and fashionable if you're going to wear them. If I have a comfortable shoe, but it's something I consider very unattractive, I'm probably not going to put it on. So, yes and no on that one. And as far as only limiting myself to 2, I take 2 of each color. We talked about the palette earlier. That's kind of what I do, and then something for the pool. But I'm not finding my shoes take a lot of space. I basically wear open-toed, flip-flop type shoes. I'm sure you saw that if you looked at my packing video. And they really don't take much space. I have a little drawstring bag I can put them in. I can put at least 2 pair in there. If I do the higher heels ones, I can put 2 pair in. If I do less, I can put a bunch in there. So, no. I don't have to fly to a cruise port, so it's easier for me. If you have to fly, I understand that you have different limitations, but I don't want to undershoe myself on a cruise. Especially since, if I wear one all day, maybe I get a little blister or something from walking all day in a port. I don't want to wear that shoe again because it's going to rub in the same place. So, rub in a different place on a different shoe. All right, next they suggest to stay fresh. Basically, they're telling you to bring travel size Febreze so that you can freshen up items before you rewear it. or a small sachet in a drawer or something like that. And they talk about, washing your undies in the sink. I don't do any of that. There is laundry service. Sometimes you can get lucky and they're having a special. I've done that before, where you can put your bag out as often as you want and they'll wash and or press your clothes depending on what you want for a set fee for your entire cruise. I have found that very advantageous in a cruise. As far as the Febreze and stuff, I often don't like the sense of those things, and I still know that they're not clean. So I'm going to have to give that one suggestion kind of a thumbs down. Next is to accessorize. It's basically saying you can wear the same thing and dress it up or down depending on how you accessorize it. You can use scarves and that sort of thing. And I agree with that. I have a dress that I can wear as in the day, like in port and with flip-flops, or I can wear it at night with some chunky jewelry or something, and it just looks a little, dressier. I do agree with that. And as far as the pashmina scarves and such, yes, you can use them instead of taking outerwear, like just to cover your shoulders, say in a cold dining room, or if you're walking on the promenade deck and it's windy, which it will be. So I do agree with the accessories. All right, so number 7, it says be clever with carry-ons. And it says rather than pack a separate beach bag, look for one that you can use as your airplane carry-on. Now, I totally agree with this one. Like I said, don't have to take an airplane to go to a cruise. However, I do tend to use something like a beach bag or something I can reuse as my carry-on. I mean, why not take a functional bag? It can't be a single-use bag. You've never been on a cruise. The last night of the cruise, you have to give up your luggage. So not only you might want to carry on whatever, you do need a carry-off bag. And why not have it be the same bag you can carry to the beach? Or if it isn't the same bag you can carry to the beach, at least make it something you can put a wet swimsuit in, or something. But we do take some Ziploc bags and Publix bags and stuff for things that are wet or dirty. But it's good advice what they've given you here about be clever with your carry-on, make it reusable during your trip. Absolutely, I like that one. They also talk about on the carry-on, that tablets are your best entertainment investment because you can use them for ebooks, movies, news, whatever. Next, it says roll up your clothes when you pack them. I'm going to tell you that is absolutely probably the best advice on this list, is to roll up your clothes. It was amazing. I've done that maybe the last year or so, and this last cruise, you saw if you watched my video, you saw how much stuff I got in that suitcase. I wore most of it, but it was all because I rolled it up and I was careful how I bagged my shoes. Yeah, rolling up your clothes, it's great. It says it helps to minimize wrinkles. It helps to minimize wrinkles in some fabrics. It doesn't help in others. It talks about rolling socks and stuffing them into your shoes. I mostly cruise the Caribbean, so obviously that's not applicable, but yeah, I can see that. And I don't have closed-toe shoes typically, so there's nothing to roll them in. But what I do is if I put a purse in my bag, I will put stuff in that. Next is number 9, which is divide and conquer. And it says you and your companion both want to stick to just carry-ons, then don't be afraid to commingle your bags. Now, I'm going to expand that to non-carry-ons. And we absolutely commingle carry-ons, because his is a different size, type, whatever. And my carry-on for a cruise usually has my swimsuit and a cover-up on it, because I like to start my vacation as soon as I get on the ship. Some people like to linger around, wait till a room is ready. Oh, there's an airplane. We'll take a little pause. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I live near an airport. It's a little airport, but, sometimes. But anyway, we even do that with our luggage, not just to carry on. Okay, it was quiet out here, but now the airport's gotten busy all of a sudden. All these private pilots. Number 10 was to tame your toiletries, and saying if you can live without your brand, use the ones that they provide on board. Now, they go into a lot of the stuff about the 3-ounce bottles, but we don't fly to go to a cruise typically, so I can't really speak to that, but what I can say is I do use the onboard toiletries. Well, I use the onboard shampoo, body, gel, shower gels, and conditioner if they have it. I do have the little travel size. I either bought them at like Walgreens sometimes, and sometimes when I'm in a hotel, I just take one with me when I've stayed in a hotel all week, and I might like take the last one they put in there that's closed, and I have a few of those that I can throw in because they don't always have conditioner. They'll have shampoo, or they'll have shampoo and conditioner, which I don't really like those so much, but anyway, I do take advantage, and you can look into it. Like on Holland, I know what you're going to get and what kind of room you have. I know what you're going to get in terms of what's going to be already in the shower, and I like that. You don't have to pack it. You don't have to keep up with it, because invariably, even if I pack stuff like that, I forget it and leave it behind. So, number 11, single out. It says single-use products can save space, like antibacterial lotion, nail polish remover, insects, sunscreens. All of those can come in the wipes. Yeah, wipes. We don't do that. I don't know. I'm not really. I try not to use a lot of single-use products. The only one I can think of is glass cleaners, and we do use those. They come in the little packets we buy at Costco, by the zillion. But other than that, no. When I bring wipes, I bring not a big canister of wipes, but I bring the little packet, just like I do with the makeup remover. So they're not single use, but maybe they're 15 uses. I do that, and sometimes I will wipe down the surfaces. This last ship we were on, I didn't wipe down the surfaces. Wasn't a need. It was very clean, but there have been occasions where I've wiped them down. And the makeup removers are an everyday thing. And then the last one, in number 12, is take inventory. It says when you get home, look hard at your suitcase. Look at what you wore and didn't wear, what you needed and didn't need. And I think that's pretty true. I think I've learned from every cruise I've been on. Because we do the Caribbean, I do like to have sometimes a little extra outfit, like one pair of shorts but 2 tops, just because it's very hard to wear the same tops over and over. Yeah, you learn, you figure it out. When you get yourself together, get all your stuff together that you want to take, then go through it and you can edit it. Like on my last video, you'll see I took out a pair of shorts because they were kind of dressy, and I thought, really, where am I going to wear shorts that aren't like, cargo or denim? Where am I going to wear a gabardine short? Probably not going to wear that. Can't wear it in the dining room, and it's a little dressy for just day to day. And then, I had one shirt I wanted to bring, and then I said, well, that's going to be too heavy and kind of a little bit long. It wasn't long sleeve, but it was longer than 3/4. No, that'll probably be too hot. And absolutely, it would have been too hot. So, you can get your clothes together, then do an edit, and that's how I do it. But anyway, I just wanted to share some thoughts on Cruise Critic, since I'm shocked at how many people have never heard of it. And it's, I think, a very valuable tool to cruisers, and to talk a little bit about packing. Thanks so much for watching my channel. I hope that you will like this video by giving it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you know someone who's interested in the sort of content I produce, please send them my way.